this is Modes, and again, in my opinion, their best looking keyboard that they have. So we're looking at the Sonnet today. This is the collaboration Sonnet that Mode and I have done. This is the copper and stone, which looks so much better in person, I have to admit. I looked at the photos, I'm like, oh, this looks pretty normal. The stone color and the copper go so well. I'll show you guys this one here in a second. That one there I opened already just to make sure it was in there, you know? This one I have not opened. So this is the orange and polycarbonate one. So time to look. I'm pretty excited for this. I'm actually more excited to try out the new mounting, well, the updated mounting style. Let's take a look. So there doesn't have the, oh, the stone looks great. Ooh, the stone and polycarbonate looks fantastic. And let's put the weight in. Yeah, polycarbonate bottom, stone top. And the idea behind this, so we didn't laser them, we actually engraved them. And the idea behind this is you can flip it either way you want because they're both countersunk on both sides. So if you don't want this part to show, you can just put it like this and it'll look like this on the bottom. But if you want this to show, oh, I shouldn't have done this to start. How do I get this out now? If you don't want this to show, you can do it this way. And if you want it to show, you can flip it this way. And that was the idea behind this. So then you can have a little subtle alexotos signature there. Ooh. I do like this. Oh, that looks sweet. What is the name of the orange? It looks so good. It doesn't really have a name. So the reason why I like these colors so much, a long time ago, I had a orange bag. It was like a plastic bag. And I put it next to, we have a little piece of stone for one of the plants to sit in. And I remember looking at it and the light was hitting it just right. And I took a picture of it and I'm just like, dude, this looks sweet. This looks really cool. And then from then on there, the colors have just kind of spoke to me. And then I sampled the color from that alexotos plastic bag merch. That'd be actually pretty neat. We're gonna be building the copper one today. Compared to the Envoy, this is actually a different batch of e-coating. We were unable to use the same batch of it, basically. So we had to make a new batch. So there might be a slight minor difference, which you can sort of see there is. New coating is a little darker. Actually, this is more true to the Pantone. And then the new orange, the new orange is pretty much identical. The Envoy's a smidge lighter, yeah. Like I said, we did have to do a totally new batch of e-coating. The Sonnet coating is more soft and deep. Yeah, so the Sonnet coating I would say resembles more of the stone we want it to go with from the originals. But when I got sample chips of everything, I ended up settling on this one here because they sent me like 4 or 5. And this one here is, I think, a better batch, to be honest. Very cool. You guys, with anything, listen, I'm gonna do my best to like still point out anything that might be problematic for the build. I don't really think there's gonna be though, because this is more of a refresh. And I don't really think there's gonna be anything that like needs complete addressing with this build today. We'll see though. Obviously I'm gonna be truthful in that sense, but when it comes down to do I like this particular Sonnet, yeah, I'm not gonna hide behind the fact that I'll probably be super biased in saying that this is the nicest and prettiest color Sonnet out there. Yeah, this particular colorway is so pretty with the copper. And then the copper, now this one here, obviously it won't matter which way you flip it because you won't be able to see it, so you probably just leave it like this. Let's just see what the accent sort of looks like on this. I won't put the weight in for now. I don't want to scratch anything. The copper and stone does look real nice. This version just sold itself out before it went on sale. That looks so damn good. Yeah, this one here does look pretty sweet. Side profile. This is why I still, to this day, out of all the Mode releases they've done, maybe with the exception of the Encore, this is probably the prettiest side profile on any of the Mode keyboards. And just in general, I really, really appreciate the Sonnet side profile. This one's real nice. Again, just the way the light hits everything, it's just a good looking board. Front height looks good too. Yeah, it's not gonna be changed too much from the OG one. This will start at 350 for the polycarbonate one. So it'll be polycarbonate with the e-coating top frame and e-coated weights. And this one here is gonna be 679. This one here is basically mostly copper. I didn't wanna do a whole lot of these ones here just because I knew they were gonna be super expensive, because it's a pretty big slab of copper, as you guys can see the whole bottom is. As you guys can probably guess, I'm going to be using Nixies today. So we got some of these stabs, which I'll probably just use these today. We have the feet. The feet will match the stone like last time. I think they sent a copper plate just for funsies, but I don't think we're going to be using the copper plate today. And we have a hot swap piece here. We have these guys, the lattice systems. We have the daughter board. So I'm thinking today we use the aluminum plate for the build, unless you guys want to see polycarbonate today. I was going to save the polycarb one to go with the polycarbonate build. Either way, and the reason why I'm saying this is because If you want to use polycarb today, guys, we can. It's hot swap, or we can just swap the assembly to the other one. So yeah, I'm actually not too sure how the Nixies will sound on a PC plate. We'll see though. We'll start assembling our board now. Let's put our feet on first, and we'll unscrew it all. The copper bottom is so nice. I do wish the feet were push-in, but I'm not overly upset about it, only because I have used the Sonnet a long time now, and I haven't had issues with the feet falling off, which is fine, but I do still wish that for this iteration, maybe they introduce some sort of special push-in foot for the bottom, push-in feet for the bottom. Alrighty, let's stick this in here. Copper accent for new Sonnets have a bead blasted clear coat finish instead of the brushed copper. It does look good. How heavy are the Nixie springs? The ones I have in this are all 56 gram. All 56, but the stock ones, I believe they're like 70 or something. So in case you guys are curious, there is a way you kind of have to put these in. These ones here go on the more squared off areas. And these ones that are a little bit more rounded, they go towards the bottom. So they would sit like this for the top mount. And then we just do like this first. Easy peasy. And this just sits in like that. I will show you guys both versions again right now before we put keycaps on this version. So here is the orange one. This is the polycarbonate one. And then here's the side profile for the polycarb one with the stone top, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. Dude, I need this key set. It goes with everything. It goes with a lot of stuff, I have to admit. It really, really does. All right, this looks really good. Let's see the side profile one more time. Oh my God, it's so heavy. Side profile looking good. Don't drop it, I'm trying not to. So this is the stone colored top, copper bottom, copper weight, copper accent. This gives me very fall vibes. With this particular keycap set, I'm getting like very, very like fall, that kind of weather vibes, you know what I mean? Very autumn set for sure. Yeah. So polycarbonate plate, copper everything else. Technically these are ABS keycaps. They're key Kobo. We'll try a GMK spacebar just for the sake of trying it too. And we're using cherry Nixies. I do want to swap out the spacebar to a Gatoron Milky Yellow. Only because I feel like the spacebar is drowning out the alphas a little bit. Yeah, the spacebar is a bit harsh. I'm gonna change the spacebar really quick. I wonder though if it's just the top mount that's doing that to the spacebar. Who knows? Yeah, the spacebar is definitely hitting hard on this one here. Oh, much better. Much better. I will say the top mount's very loud, which might be some people's cup of tea. I feel like you would have to pick specific switches for that. I do like it though, it does sound good, but I don't think super sharp switches will probably work too much with the top, but that's gonna be the fun part now, since we're gonna try the gasket, which the gasket is something I'm more interested in, only because that's actually the newer mounting style for this. So these are the lattice system, and then you get a choice of, you can also use these ones here, which are much firmer, but we'll use the softer ones for now. Let's take a look now with the gasket config. Oh, dude, that spacebar is real good. This is with the Curry switch still. Which is crazy because the Curry switch normally is like way lower. This is an Obscura. This has been lubed and filled. Oh, no, just lubed. Oof, that does sound good. I can't wait to do the Obscura build. That one there sounds really good. That's different. I still think I prefer one of these two just for the alphas on this, but I can imagine a whole build of the Obscura sounding absolutely excellent. Some takeaways from this. I think the board, obviously, like I told you I was gonna be biased with the way it looks. I think it's a gorgeous looking board. I think the lattice mount is a lot better than the top mount here. Although both sounded good. The top mount was very loud, very like forward in its sound signature. The lattice is so comfortable, so good. I loved it on this. It's just a good looking keyboard. This is Modes, and again, my opinion, their best looking keyboard that they have. So you can kind of see the Alexotos 1 of 10 through the polycarb, which I really like. It's just subtle enough. I feel like through different angles, you can really see it. I wouldn't say there's a crap ton of difference here. This is the standard lattice mounts. It's still using the copper weight, but it's the PC bottom. We'll try the raw top, although I don't know if that'll work, but we'll see. Do you guys hear anything? Maybe a little bit more flatness on some of the switches. Louder? Really? Maybe I need to go back and listen. That makes me really happy that a little knowledge on this too. When Mode asked if I wanted to do a version of this, I actually have a lot of Sonnet parts. I actually went through all my Sonnet parts and found the best combination of things that also wasn't the most expensive. And it happened to be polycarbonate and aluminum weight. And I was like, okay, these sound great together. But obviously I had to make kind of a guess to what the lattice system would sound like. I actually think this is like the alphas seem a little bit more rounded opposed to sharper. Copper's still really nice, but I think I do kind of prefer the aluminum PC combo. So we'll do ISO top mount one more time with the polycarbonate bottom, and then we'll do, I guess you guys want to see what the regular schmegular top mount sounds like too with nothing in there. All right, so this is top mount now with the polycarbonate and aluminum. Oof. See, now this is very different than the copper. The copper was very metallic. Top mount does sound a miles better on the polycarbonate bottom. All right, let's try without the little gaskets on there. All right, so as I kind of figured, the top, actually it's not terribly bad. There's a small sliver of a gap that when you don't have the isolation there, or I guess the lattice system, there's a small sliver gap. You probably won't notice too much though, so. Polycarbonate plate for this one. I still think I'm gonna go with the lattice blocks here, guys. I think the lattice blocks are definitely more my thing. I'm gonna probably switch it over now, but also little tease, I guess. So these are gonna be some of the cards that come in the alexotos edition one. So I have like the signatures all done on them, and then it'll just say like Mode Alex on it. So it'll be like bright orange cards. And then like last time, there'll be a few that have the smiley faces. I think I'm gonna do like 15 with smiley faces on them too. I did lube some Obscura switches, so we will be using these today. We'll use the more firm lattice mounts for now. I like the options in this board. I always have with the lattice mounts. I think there's a lot of cool little variables you can kind of do with this. All right, so this is Retro Zhuyin, and then I use the accents from Oil on Vermilion. It's an EPBT set. It's an ABS as well. So I'm using Obscuras. I did lube them with, believe it or not, GS2 lube, because I'm going back and forth between if I like 205 more or GS2 lately on linears. GS2 is a smidge thinner, and I personally find it adds a little bit of depth to the sound signature as well. It's not quite as bright. And we're using an aluminum plate. This is with the firmest lattice blocks as well. And then if you guys want to quickly take a peek at the side profile, so you can see the weight coming through on the polycarbonate unit here. I think that looks so cool that you can see the weight through the polycarb unit. Still has that signature mode accent on the Sonnet here, which is just, I think this keyboard looks stunning. Absolutely stunning, and it is it's one of Mode's best, if not the best, side profiles and keyboard design that they have ever done. Has the back over here, which again, you can see the weight peeking through. Let us give this a go. Ooh, that's a deeper space bar. Hold on. That is a deep space bar. Oh, this sounds great, dude. This does, to me, this is like, I don't even know if I want to use the other lattice blocks in this. This already feels really good too. It's a smidge firmer, but it's not like overly firm. As you guys can see, there's still some play on this with the firmer lattice blocks. This is great. The board is not super light, but it's also not very heavy, not compared to the all copper version. I think I like the polycarbonate bottom the best with the Sonnet. It is absolutely fantastic. The copper's good too. The copper definitely has more of a metallic-y kind of feedback to it, which is different sound signature. But the nice thing about the polycarbonate bottom that I'm noticing, and I have already tested all this with the last Sonnet, not really much of a difference here. This can use any weight and still sound really good. So you don't need to worry about, shelling out big money on like a brass or copper weight, unless you want one. So that's where I think my head is at with this. The Sonnet PC bottom, top frame being aluminum. I think both plates sounded great, by the way. Yeah, safest plate choices, I'd say aluminum or polycarb. I mean, you can really go with anything on the Sonnets, and I feel like they sound good, but I think the overall best is still the polycarb. You're gonna get more flexibility with it. Or palm, whatever plastic plate you wanna use. Do you guys wanna hear top mount with the aluminum plate on this? I don't know. It doesn't sound I think I prefer the polycarbonate plate for the top mount. I don't know if I'm personally into this. It sounds good. I just like the polycarbonate plate better for the top mount. Yeah, it's a bit more of a clunk sound, which is still a lot of people's cup of tea, and I totally get that people like top mount. I get it with aluminum plates. I've just never been on that side of the fence, I guess, with aluminum plate top mount. I also think aluminum plate top mount to me doesn't have like enough give to it overall. It doesn't sound bad. I just prefer the other one, but this is all preference. Keep that in mind. Very happy with the new mode Sonnets. They'll be available soon. I'm gonna switch back to the lattice system for this guy. Love the way this turned out. I might rebuild the top one with vintage switches because I want more of a scratch with the copper Sonnet. Bye everybody, later.